In the captivating realm of celebrity fame and fortune, it's tempting to assume that success and wealth always go hand in hand. We often imagine our beloved stars living a life of constant extravagance and abundance. However, the harsh truth is that even the most renowned figures in the entertainment industry are not immune to financial difficulties. In fact, some celebrities have gone through the turbulent journey of accumulating immense riches, only to find themselves entangled in the merciless grip of bankruptcy. After once having millions at their disposal, they suddenly found themselves overwhelmed by debt, owing staggering amounts that appear implausible. This situation raises a profound question about money itself, as many of our actions and motivations in life are driven by a fundamental desire or necessity to attain it. Yet, what purpose does its acquisition serve if we struggle to effectively manage it? Based on a survey conducted by CareerBuilder, it was found that in 2019, a staggering 78% of adults in the United States were reportedly living from one paycheck to another. During the same year, the average credit card debt also increased, highlighting the hidden burden of debt carried by the most vulnerable individuals. While these statistics pertain specifically to the UK and the US, it is worth contemplating your personal relationship with money and its role in your life. What does money signify to you? Does it seem to flow in and out of your life quickly once you acquire it? Have you ever found yourself in a precarious position due to financial vulnerability? Perhaps this vulnerability pushed you towards pursuing get-rich-quick schemes or being swayed by self-proclaimed gurus promising wealth if you just invested in their course. Research suggests that our perceptions of money often hold more significance than our ability to generate it, especially considering how our brains are wired to impede financial sensibility. Does it truly matter if you earn a six-figure income each year if, by the end of that year, you have nothing substantial to show for it? Where is the disconnect in our understanding? It is high time we unravel this enigma, and not only that, but also explore a more effective framework for comprehending money, one that is often neglected in formal education, but frequently taught in personal finance. But what exactly is money to you? Or, more precisely, what does money symbolize? Whether you're making an online payment or receive payment for your work, what does money signify in these transactions? Well, while money is commonly defined as a medium of exchange, a tool that facilitates the buying, selling, or trading of goods between parties, this definition fails to capture its true essence. I believe a more insightful perspective is to view money as an embodiment of value. When you exchange a certain amount of money for a product or service, it is because you perceive its value to be equivalent to the amount of money exchanged. Of course, the price of goods and services is often determined by the market rather than the individual, but let us focus on this specific point. Money equals value. Why is this concept so significant? It is because we often attach a moral significance to money. As you may have heard the saying, money is the root of all evil. We tend to look at individuals who possess substantial wealth and assume they got lucky. We wonder whom they exploited or took advantage of to attain their position. But we rarely consider the value that was created in order to generate that wealth. Understanding that money represents value is crucial in recognizing that money itself is not inherently evil, nor does it make a person evil. While there are individuals like scammers who deceive others into believing their offerings have value, this reflects more on their moral character than on the nature of money. Money, in essence, expands your possibilities and broadens your horizons. However, the choices you make with money are deeply influenced by your own moral values. Therefore, money serves as an expression of value. Now, how does this understanding alter the reality of individuals living paycheck to paycheck or struggling with credit card debt? Simply acknowledging that money equals value does not immediately change their circumstances. It may provide a different perspective on money, but actionable advice is needed. To address this, let me pose a question. What is your personal relationship with money? Money enters and exits your life in a dynamic relationship, often reflected by your income and expenses. Another practical way to view this relationship is through the lens of production versus consumption. Typically, money enters your life when you have generated value, often through labor or employment. Money leaves when you engage in consumption, such as paying for software subscriptions, purchasing a new car, or acquiring a house. One can evaluate the net worth of an individual as a metric for assessing their relationship between consumption and production. Now consider the statistics mentioned earlier. Which aspect of the consumption-production relationship do you think is problematic? Reflect on your own experiences. Think about the money that has entered your life. How much of it do you still possess today or have invested in assets? Which part of this relationship feels imbalanced or requires improvement? It is likely both aspects need attention. However, for the majority of people, the primary challenge lies in their consumption habits. Remember the Career Builder study that revealed 78% of American workers living paycheck to paycheck. Interestingly, even among workers earning $100,000 or more annually, 1 in 10 still found themselves living paycheck to paycheck. While one could argue that individuals earning six-figure incomes may desire more, the issue arises when someone receives a salary well above the average wage and cost of living, yet manages to spend it all. In such cases, it becomes crucial to address the relationship with consumption before focusing on production. As demonstrated by wealthy celebrities who have filed for bankruptcy, production means very little when there is a problem with excessive consumption. This brings us to the concept of the rat race. The term rat race often refers to an endless, self-defeating pursuit or a seemingly pointless endeavor. Sometimes it is mistakenly equated with working a 9-to-5 job, which certain individuals exploit to guilt people into purchasing their programs and books. However, this comparison is highly unfair as it vilifies traditional employment and overlooks the fact that some individuals genuinely enjoy or are content with their jobs, while others have aspirations beyond their regular working hours. In reality, the true rat race is living on the financial edge, constantly teetering on the brink of financial insolvency. It is the feeling that as soon as money enters your life, it swiftly disappears. The more responsibilities you have, the more precarious this relationship becomes. The loss of a job, an unexpected health issue, or any unforeseen circumstance can throw your entire financial situation into disarray. Consider the mental toll of living on this financial precipice. Your job ceases to be a choice. It becomes an absolute necessity to sustain your lifestyle or pay off debts. The good news: it doesn't have to continue that way. The first step towards personal finance success involves developing an awareness of your relationship with money. This is often achieved by keeping a journal of your monthly expenses, organized into categories such as housing, transportation, food, utilities, entertainment, and more. It's about comprehending your role as a consumer, but this aspect can be challenging. In the field of behavioral finance, this inclination is often referred to as the ostrich effect, which describes our tendency to avoid confronting negative financial information. It's that uneasy feeling when you deliberately avoid checking your bank account after a night out, fearing the potential revelations. However, once you overcome this stage, it's time to take charge of your consumer behavior. Taking control typically involves the practice of budgeting. It entails determining how much you intend to spend in each category per month and adhering to those limits. It's a systematic approach to assessing your consumption patterns and identifying areas where you can minimize your expenses, ultimately enabling you to live within your means. In other words, it involves adopting a lifestyle that still provides sufficient financial resources for saving and investing in some capacity. It's worth noting that before delving into investment ventures, one of the fundamental practices in personal finance is establishing an emergency fund. This involves setting aside a specific amount of savings to be reserved for unexpected situations. Typically, this fund should cover 3 to 6 months' worth of expenses. However, the concept of living below your means is equally significant. Why would we choose any other way? Why would we opt for a lifestyle that surpasses our financial capabilities? To be clear, I want to emphasize that I'm not suggesting that buying expensive items like clothing, jewelry, or sports cars is inherently negative. I don't view consumption itself as a bad thing. The purpose of this video is not to delve into philosophical debates about the consequences of a materialistic worldview. Instead, it aims to create awareness about your role as a consumer. Do you prioritize appearing wealthy over actually having financial stability? The rat race is not merely about working a 9-to-5 job. It's about living life in such a way that you constantly chase the next paycheck or material possession, pushing your greater life goals and ambitions to the background. However, implementing budgeting techniques and keeping track of your expenses have consistently proven effective in breaking free from this race. It's enjoyable to discuss making money and envisioning immense wealth. However, what's the point if your relationship with money as a consumer leads to its loss or requires non-stop work to sustain a particular lifestyle? That being said, expanding your production capabilities doesn't have to be limited to traditional business endeavors. For instance, you can use your skills in acting, presenting, storytelling, or video editing to create entertaining and educational videos. Alternatively, your form of production may involve developing an app or software that offers innovative solutions in areas such as housing or fitness. While some people find their primary means of production in a 9-to-5 job, it doesn't mean that their ability to produce ends there. Understanding yourself as a producer entails recognizing the various ways in which you can generate value for the market. If you can produce value on a large scale, it means earning money on a larger scale. Fortunately, the internet has provided numerous opportunities for us to create and offer our products or services to the market. However, whether the market truly desires what you produce can only be determined once you put it out there. So if you've been running the rat race, you know what to do now. Alright guys, that wraps up our video for today. Let us know what you think about this in the comment section below. Also, please do well to give us a thumbs and hit the subscribe button for more.